Yo, yo. All right. So, one of my goals for 2024 for our clients has been uh, creating more chairmen and fewer CEOs. The last thing we need is more CEOs. And I think it's just been a very bad goal from the beginning. I find that most of the time, if you've been an employee, you see the CEO, and so the goal is the CEO is in this boss position. They're running this thing. They're whatever they decide the business needs to do is passed down, and that reaches me. And so there's been just this goal of being the CEO. It's what gets preached on social media every day. It's like, man, I'm going to be running a business. My goal is to take over a business. And as y'all know, I am anti operations. And there's a lot that goes into kind of my mentality around you do not want to get into operations of any business. Now, when I first started buying businesses, that was my goal. My goal was, man, one day, I'm going to buy these businesses. I'm going to have all of these businesses and I'm going to run them and be the CEO. And my idols were the people that were running businesses like Bill Gates and all of those people. And the truth is, we see where kind of Bill Gates ended up, which is like becoming chairman and that kind of thing, is that there is this whole world behind the business, which is where you really want to play. And so part of that is, what I call the chairman's playbook. And I love the chairman's playbook even more than sometimes being the investor because there's just more opportunities. But at the very least, you do not want to be, you either want to be playing the investor role or the chairman's role. And the thing that I love about the chairman role is that there's just so many endless opportunities. And you just start to see the world in these other lenses where, I'm having brunch yesterday with a couple of folks. And right now I'm out of the country, which, I think, we were 1 inch, or not even an inch, a half an inch away just yesterday in the US from having an all-out revolution. I think things would have been absolutely nuts if that bullet had just been about a half an inch difference in trajectory. But for the average person that doesn't see that chairman role that's behind the CEO, it's like, okay, well, the top is the CEO. But when you're playing the chairman role, I'm having brunch with a couple folks, and they're doing business in kind of outside of the U.S. And I realized that there's just some basically joint venture possibilities with a business that I'm an investor in. And when you have some level of influence like that, it allows you to do all of these really cool things. Now, I have other businesses that I'm just an investor in. So, that could be, one example of that is my hotel businesses where, I don't do anything with operations. I'm not involved on the board. It's just a passive thing. I get, basically a check or deposit uh, every month. Side note on that, you should definitely be diversifying and getting income in different currencies. There's just, I think that it's not even to say that something bad is going to happen in the US, but it's just I think you just realize that we could be on the brink of some really bad things happening. And so, and regardless if you think bad things are going to happen or not, um, diversification is key. I'm very proud of Andrew, who is our lead uh, merger specialist at Good Merger. And, he's over in Monaco right now and looking at places where he wants to build a home base in Europe. And one of the things that I love about that is just, starting to build, it's not, doesn't have to happen today. I just think that, for his young age, in 24 or something, I think starting to build those home bases really all over the world and connections and most importantly, income sources is it's just smart business. It's just diversification. So, we're talking about brunch. I realized, okay, there's this connection with this business. There's this other connection where we could do a joint venture in this other business. And so, like, there's just very few times that I'm not talking to somebody who's in business and there isn't some correlation where we can do something together. And when you're in that chairman role, the difference between being in the investor role is that it gives you the opportunity to make deals happen for the businesses that you're involved in. Now, on the deals where I'm very passive, whether that's a private investment, where I'm just a passive investor, or obviously like the stock market, you don't have any influence on those deals, and so you miss out on some of the opportunities to play that chairman's role. So let's take a break before I get into today's chat. And definitely hit the like button, say hello as you pop in. Feel free to hit any questions in the chat. And if you're not hanging out with us in the Patreon, definitely come hang out with us there. You can click the link below. Jeremiah Battle, what's up, homie? Thanks for popping in. He says, appreciate the wisdom. I appreciate you coming in and saying hello. What is up? He says, I think this is a she. Hey, Ace, appreciate the gems you drop about the money game. Awesome. I certainly appreciate it. Thank you all for saying hi. All right, so let's talk a little bit just about this concept of playing the chairman's game. In the last video, I was talking about before you get started in business, the most important thing to be building is where the money's going to go. There are a lot of people that they go out, they work, even in business that they own, they're working, they're generating income, and then that income goes straight to expenses, or even worse, it goes into the bank, and there's just basically inflation that eats the money away over time. And so you have kind of these two things that most people are doing with the money that they're making. And so if the money's going to income, you end up just basically on a treadmill. So you're making expenses, but you're working to generate that income. So the point of the last video is that you want to make sure that before you do a bunch of work trying to make money, the only reason to make money is so that you can get that money, and then the money can make money passively that ends up paying your expenses. And so, like, poor people, they get taught that you want to make money so that you can pay your bills, and that is not what money is for. The goal of getting money is so that you can make money with that money. And so if you're in a position where you're trying to figure out, okay, you're doing a bunch of work to go out and buy a business and kind of start to make money that way, you want to put just as much effort into building the holding company or the investment vehicles or the knowledge that you're going to be able to leverage once you get that money to start to generate passive income. And we had a call last week with the Patreon where I talk about one of my investment strategies, which is a little bit more active, but not as active as like day trading or anything like that. But you still just want to make sure that you've got things where, regardless of you waking up in the morning, you're going to be able to generate income. And then it doesn't mean that you stop there. That's really what Warren Buffett had the benefit of. Warren Buffett had the benefit that he was making a ton of money regardless of him doing anything. And it was all passive. So he would buy the business, he would take the money from the business, he would put that into investments. And then he really starts to, kind of create a map of exactly what everybody should be doing in their holding company, where he would buy a business, he would take the money that that business was making, he would buy a business that would be investment vehicles. So a business like the insurance company. And so it was in the business of taking people's money, investing that money, having premiums that are coming in, and then paying out, a certain percentage of the premiums. But it's really just an investment company. So now you've got things that are going two ways, where you can take money from the other businesses and then grow the portfolios of the insurance business. Then you can take loans against the insurance business to buy other businesses, which generate more money to invest. And so it becomes this flywheel of essentially, like I said, you're buying income to take that income to make investments to make more income, which is, really the goal of, our acquisition holding company strategy, right? So if you take that last video where we talk about the three things that you should be doing before you even buy a business, make sure that the money from the business going into things that are going to make money. The concept there is that you're living off of as quickly as possible. You want to live off of investment income, and everything that you do above that increases the income. So it's not like you're saying, hey, I'm just going to retire, but it gives you that option at any point. When you know that your investment income is covering your expenses, it gives you that option of being able to not work for whatever period of time. But you can be like Warren Buffett and still aggressively, even though you've built the flywheel, which is never going to stop. You can still go out and aggressively do deals to make the flywheel go even faster and even faster. So let's move to this thing of thinking about the chairman strategy based on some of the things that are going on in the U.S., which I think should cause you concern that we could be at any given point, whether it's the assassination of one person or just some of the other issues that are happening where like there's just a mountain of debt. We're at a point where really we can barely borrow enough to pay just the interest. If any individual were in that the situation that the U.S. government is in, or any business was in the situation that the U.S. government is in, it would be bankrupt, immediate. Like they would be dragged into bankruptcy court immediately, because it's literally bankrupt. But it gets to kind of not go bankrupt because it makes the laws and the rules, right? And so I think one of the things that I love about the chairman strategy is that it gives you this opportunity to not only start to diversify and build income in all of these other places, but I think the mentality that's cool is like you can take advantage of geo arbitrage. So as you're starting to spend time in other countries and start to diversify your home bases, you can start to target places where your money goes a lot further. And as you do that, it becomes a lot easier and quicker for the flywheel that we were just describing to take care of all of your expenses. Even people that are looking at retirement and they're going into their financial advisor. Talking to their financial advisor, and the financial advisor is like, like you need like $3 million in order to retire. Well, the reason that you need so much money is that they're calculating in the fact that, there's going to be, tremendous inflation. The expenses in the US are already tremendously high. And so you get stuck in a situation where it's tough to build that flywheel, because you need so much money just to cover your personal expenses before you get into even just business expenses and all that. So it's very expensive to just build your flywheel and to leverage that chairman strategy so that all your expenses are covered by passive income. So I think it's kind of this cool thing where hopefully if you're paying attention to what's going on in the US, not just politically, but also economically, and not just on like a micro level, but economically on a macro level, then you understand that, man, I probably should start to diversify internationally. But the cool thing is that in diversifying internationally, it's actually an opportunity. It's not like it's like, oh man, this is unfortunate. I've got to, you know, I've got to diversify internationally. Like, oh no, I have this opportunity that not only gives me diversification from a multiple currency income standpoint, but also it gives me this opportunity to take advantage of geo arbitrage and lower my expenses. So now, when you're looking at the true number that you need in order to be able to be financially secure and kind of be able to do things from a standpoint where you're just not under the gun of I need every dollar to go into retirement, or I'm not going to be able to make it. We don't know what's going to happen with Social Security. There's just all of these things that are kind of up in the air. And so, being able to take advantage of that arbitrage just allows you to reach freedom a lot quicker, live a lot better lifestyle. And it's a perspective on this whole chairman strategy that I think it becomes easier to go in to do deals, not get involved with operation, not try to be the best marketer. It's all just deals. And I thought about this just because I was literally on WhatsApp and realized that with one of my friends, like, man, based on what you're doing in your business, we've got this distribution channel and a business I'm a part of, and we can sell basically at a really great margin, this thing that you've built out. And then obviously I get to take a little bit of passive income in addition to what I already get from that business that comes from that specific deal. So there are deals to be made all over the world. I think based on what's going on in the US, you should be considering that. And if you're not hanging out with us in the Patreon, you should definitely do that. And if you're not in Actors and Holdco, definitely reach out. We would love to have you. We're starting a new cohort pretty soon, and we've got some really cool events coming up for the cohort. So definitely reach out. Thank y'all for popping in. We've got Quincy, my man, who's doing some really, really amazing things, buying up universities and all kinds of cool stuff. Thanks for popping in. Quincy says, love the Chairman's Playbook series. Well, I love what you're up to. And yeah, he was one of the folks in our last HC cohort. All right, folks, talk to y'all soon. Thanks for popping in. Hope everybody is out there killing it. It's just an overwhelming number of opportunities that are out there for you. So take advantage.